Hi guys, it's Andy from mcfcfantv. Hope everyone is well tonight. Just thought I'd do a very quick one. Sorry, I've not been on for a few days. My dog has been very poorly, but I just thought I would come on tonight. Seeing as always seems to be perking up a little bit, and just bring all the things I've been reading about today, and the usual stuff, and that's why the title is the international break upon us, because what you normally get when it's the international break is a right load of garbage, and that is what seems to be coming out, just constant, no football to talk about. So you're going to expect this for the next 10 days. It's just going to be nonsense after nonsense after nonsense, made up stories, trying to get quotes and something from people who are not in the know and all that type of stuff. It's going to be painful, absolutely painful. So if you want to follow us whilst we go through the nonsense stories, then please stay with us, because that's all it is. It's garbage. But anyway, let's see who is on. Dukes is on. Hello, come on, City. Charlie Everett, how are you? Looking forward to the show. I wouldn't say Kings. We're going to talk about Danny Ings. Simon, hi everyone. Oh no, not the transfer rumour. Ings, Messi, Dakar, Haaland, Zakaria, Tom, Dick, and Harry. Yes, I'm afraid so, Simon. Adam Quinn, hi, how are you? Vinny Reid is on. Evening all. How are you, Vinny? Ryan Corrie's on. Hello. How are you, mate? Hey Ryan, how are you? Says Simon. Ozzy says, good evening, guys. I hope everyone is doing well. Very good, thank you. Zagon, how are you, Zagon? Hope you're well. Sean Fogarty, your prize, I should say, rather than present, is in the post, mate, and you should get it there by the end of the week. Noah Pearson, evening, lads. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're doing well as well, Noah. Ronnie Beavers on. Evening. How are you, mate? I'm good, Simon. You, Simon, Ryan. Good, thanks. A bit of a love in there between Simon and Ryan. Sean Fogarty, I do not like the international break missing the Prem. Not even started yet. Alec Johnson. Finally, you like the Scarlet Pimpernel, or the Shadow. I have been messaging below in the community chats. You need to send me your email address, mate, your home address in the email, mcfcfantv@gmail.com. You've got a prize coming your way, and been trying to get hold of you for the last 3 days. Kex O'Neill, hope your dog's okay. Well, the next 24 hours or so, hopefully he'll be okay. Hi Blues, Noah Pearson's on. Does anyone need some dead batteries? Don't worry, you won't need to pay because they are free of charge. Noah's back with his usual jokes. Bad jokes. Sorry to hear about your dog. Nah, it's okay, mate. He's perked up a little bit today. Yesterday was very touch and go, hence why. Thanks to Kurt for yesterday, for the post-match with Ross. I had to rush him off to the vets. Alexander Griffin, I think we've been linked with every player in the window beside Pele, maybe. It's garbage. But we have to talk about it. Just doing a quick one sounds like one of Martin's hour-long streams. No, it definitely isn't. I need to go to bed. I was up all night with my dog. Sorry to hear about your dog, Andy. I hope it's back. Well, yeah, Peter, I'm sure he'll be fine. Just got the bloods back, and they thought it was pancreatitis, but they think it's now something called enterea, which is like a canine COVID. But yeah, he was very poorly yesterday, and we were really worried. And they kept him in, and then got him back last night. And yeah, I've been up all night with him. But today he's perked up a lot, so fingers crossed he's on the way back. I've learned to appreciate international breaks. 2 weeks of rest from it all is nice. Well, it is for you, Ryan, because you watch about 800 games a day. So for those of us who only watch City games, no, it's not nice. No interest in international football whatsoever. Harry Costin, people are saying about Ings, it's on. Listen to a bit this morning. Ray Fernley, hi Andy, how are you, mate? SOS says evening blues. John Grogan is on as well. Apparently we're favourite for Jack Grealish and Haaland. Throw some more names in the hat if you want. Got my prize. City getting trophies. Yeah, well, if you don't want it, mate, I'll give it to somebody else. So it's up to you. Bad jokes, how rude. Yeah, it's a bit of an old one, mate. Kex O'Neill, we're buying Isco. Oh, we're going to add Isco into it now. Hi, Andy. Hope you're well. Good, Abdallah. How are you? Hi, India Sky Blues. How are you, Lassie Blur? Noah, laugh out loud. Also, yeah, somebody thought it was funny. Noah, I hope your dog's all right. They try not to worry yourself too much. Nah, I'm okay. He's in with my wife at the moment in the living room. So, yeah, fingers crossed he'll be okay. But anyway, where do we start? Oh, yeah, we're not starting with him. We're not even going to talk about him. Too much garbage to talk about tonight. So I'm going to very quickly go through. This is going to be a very quick one. I need to get back and make sure my dog's okay. So much love, Andy. Good to hear from you. You too, Andy. So we're going to talk about the usual crap that's been bandied around. And the first one, it keeps coming up. You won't go away. It's like a bad fart and a bad smell. It is, of course, Erling Haaland. If you're on Twitter and you follow the usual aggregator City accounts, you'll have seen over the last few days, there's been cryptic posts posted by Freddie and a few others, and it don't make any sense to me whatsoever. But anyway, there's been 3 or 4 other posts by City Extra, and this one's #1 transfer priority this summer, and the club are not talking to other agents, something they don't often do, and they're doing something that they don't often do, blah, blah, blah. And apparently this came from Assam, who was talking to Stephen McInerney, Esteemed Company, on his channel. So there you go. That's where it's come from. It's not come from any football club. It's not come from it. It's just somebody's opinion on it. So again, I will take these things with an absolute minute pinch of salt on there. So I think Erling Haaland's been done to death, and I think we'll just wait and see what happens, which is quite interesting considering out of all of those things, Erling Haaland. And the thing is that now the rumours are Danny Ings is going to be Sergio Aguero's successor, according to Sky Sports. That broke the original news yesterday. Now, some people might look at it and think, well, hold on a minute, that means, if we get Danny Ings, then we're not going to get Erling Haaland. I don't think so. I think, if anything, on a free transfer, Danny Ings could be a potential third-choice striker. Some might say, well, hold on a minute, what happens with Gabby Jesus if, and this is the big if Sergio Aguero does leave Manchester City and they don't offer him an extended contract? We don't know what's happening yet. Nobody knows what's happening yet. So take all of this stuff with another massive big pinch of salt. Like I said, these rumours always come out when there's nothing else to talk about. There's no Premier League football. So is any surprise it's the international break and you get linked with absolutely somebody's spoken about, this is my opinion, I think this. Maybe I should just start getting loads of guests on and so give us your opinion, and I'll whack it all over Twitter as well and say, well, so-and-so did say. Just take it all with a massive pinch of salt. Because nobody knows. They don't know. I don't care what anyone says, they don't know what's happening on the inside. They'll just put two together, get 5, and then try and back it up with something. And that's no disrespect to the guys at City Extra or anything like that. It's just there is no concrete, solid evidence whatsoever from any source at all. It's just comment. It's opinion from somebody who is not on the inside at Manchester City. So I think we just need to, just relax on it. City will do what City does. That doesn't mean say we won't go in for Haaland in the summer. And that's not to say that we will. But hate transfer rumours, yeah, I do. It's not my thing because 99 point. I think I've said it for years, Anna, on this channel. There was that study that shown that the 93.4% of transfer rumours that you ever read are absolute bullshit. They're nonsense. They're absolute crap. There's something like 5%, 5.4% where there was the tiniest of link, maybe through a random comment made in an interview months earlier or something like that. And then 1.1% or something, there's any substance to it whatsoever. So we've been linked with Haaland. We know we'll be linked. We've been linked last year with the possibility of Mbappe and other players. We're always going to be linked. And with Haaland running down his last year, well, prior to his last year of his contract, everyone and his dog is going to be in for seeing how much Dortmund would, sell him for in the summer before he has that buyout clause the following season. So everybody's going to be linked with him. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see on the Haaland thing. It really is. Steve Dempsey says, just come on, heard you speaking about Ings, would be a really good buy. Well, we won't buy him because we'll get him on a free. That's the thing. And that's why I think that's why we're being linked. And I don't know where the link's from. There's no sources, no claim sources, no nothing about the Danny Ings thing. Nothing. I don't know where it's originated from, whether it's his agent trying to push for a bigger deal for him to stay at Southampton. What I did hear, I was listening to, I think, was it this morning or yesterday? I don't know. I've had a mad 2 days. But it might have been yesterday morning, maybe, or this morning. On Jim White, we're talking to an ex-goalkeeper colleague of his. And he said he's a brilliant guy. He's a wonderful player. And he's massively, massively underrated. He's a brilliant finisher. Problem being he's had a few injuries. And he really thought it would have worked out at Liverpool for Danny Ings because he's such a good player. And I'm just all along thinking, certainly not a replacement for Sergio Aguero. But then when he started saying, listen, he's on a free, he would be a perfect signing and one that would possibly want to win something in his career. And two, be happy to be a rotational player at a club like Man City. And he thinks there's no better club for him to go to. He won't want a ton of money. He'd be happy. He's a proper team player. Really nice guy, apparently. Real team player. Everybody loves him wherever he's been. And he said, it makes sense for me on a free transfer in the summer. Now, I can't see that being for Sergio Aguero. There's no like-for-like replacement there. And then I started thinking, well, hold on a minute. What's his stats like? Because all I ever think of Danny Ings is a decent goal scorer. So scores some great goals, but injured a lot. And how many does scores? I know he scored 20 odd or something last season, but overall, and then I started thinking, well, who does he play for? Who does he play instead of? Because if we get rid of Sergio, we need a top-class striker, maybe, to come in, unless we're going to play for a false nine, with a false nine for the next 2 or 3 years, which means Gabby Jesus. And I know there are lots of City fans who they're like that over Gabby Jesus. And I thought, would Ings get in ahead of Gabby Jesus? Maybe he would. Maybe he wouldn't. I don't know. So I had a quick look at his stats. And if we take this season, so far, Danny Ings has played 25 games, 9 goals, 3 assists, and he's played just under 2,000 minutes. I thought, okay, 9 goals, 3 assists. So I looked at Gabby Jesus. He's played just over 2,000 minutes. He's got 12 goals and 3 assists in 30 games, but he's played just about 100 minutes more than Danny Ings. So he's got 3 more goals than Danny Ings, same amount of assists in a Man City team. So you might think, well, Danny Ings has done all right for that. So I thought, well, what did Danny Ings do last season? So let's have a look at Danny Ings. And Danny Ings last season had nearly 3,100 minutes, 42 games. He got 25 goals and 3 assists, which is decent, very decent, very, very decent return. And then taking a look at Gabby for last season, Gabby played 3,274 minutes, so 274 minutes more, 53 games. He got 23 goals, so 2 less than Ings last season, and got 14 assists. And you start looking up those figures and you think, hold on a minute, one's 23, the other one's 28. Would you take Ings over Gabby? Is Ings' work rate as good as Gabby's? Probably not. Is Ings a better finisher than Gabby? Probably, overall. But their stats are very, very similar. Very, very similar. With regards to that, sorry, I just need to just push my charger in. There you go. So looking at the stats, they're very similar. But if you could get a third striker who would be happy to stay at City, knowing he's going to be rotated, maybe Danny Ings wouldn't be such a bad idea on a free transfer as a third striker if we brought in a replacement for Sergio, if Sergio was not to be given a contract in the summer. So I guess we'll see. Dupe says Gabby over Ings. Jesus, unfortunately, would never be our number one striker. I don't think so, Alexander. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest. Pretty sure Pep knows who to buy. He's bought some class players. I'm totally with you on that one. Paul Jones, who plays from Sunday football for a dog and sausage, has been linked to us, I hear. Yeah, well, you're going to get it. And this is the problem. This is the whole problem with international breaks. It's just, this is going to go on. This won't be the first. It'll go on and on and on and on and on. So I'm not going to spend too long on it, I'll be honest with you. My only concern is that players to get back healthy from international break. I'm with you on that one, mate. Rumours of Riyadh leaving. Neto would be perfect replacement. Yeah. He's got 2 years left on his contract. Again, it will just be, we'll see. We will see what happens with Riyad Mahrez. Again, rumours from who? Rumours from who? I could put something out tomorrow saying the rumours are, I've heard that Kyle Walker's not happy. Kyle Walker wants to go, blah, 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 because of Cancelo. And I could just say a source told me. And I'd get thousands of retweets and stuff like that for that. Total nonsense. It'll depend on how Haaland plays against us in 2 games coming up. I think the decision probably has already been made even before that game. But obviously, Stephen, if he does have an absolute cracker, then it might just be the push to go all out for him. Ronnie says Ings is doing similar numbers in a poorer team. That I agree with, Ronnie. That I do. Ings is better finished, but Jesus off the ball work and link-up plays. I agree with that one as well. Felix is an interesting option. We haven't seen many rumours this time around. Seen playing very well under Pep. Yeah, mentioned it. I think was it last week on the week before on the Friday Night Social. Joao Felix, according to the rumours, City are still keeping a very close eye on him. Maybe he would be a better option. Who knows? But anyway, that's enough of the Erling Haaland, Danny Ings. You can go and follow him. The whole trail all over social media. On to the next bit of news, which comes from the CIS Football Observatory. If you don't follow those, well, this is, let me just bring it up. This was quite interesting. It was brought up all about, as you can see on the screen here, it talks about the transfer value standpoint of players. And basically, what they've said is, with an estimated transfer value of more than 150 million euros, Marcus Rashford is the main asset of Manchester United. The Englishman represents almost 15% of the entire Man United's transfer value. This percentage rises above 20% concerning Erling Haaland and Borussia Dortmund, while it's about 10% Phil Foden and Manchester City. And just below that, a proportion is Vinicius Junior for Real Madrid. And as you can see here, you can see, just bring my screen back up. You can see that on here, they've put it how many million euros they reckon each player for each club represents. And you've got between the 150 and 200 million euro mark is Marcus Rashford, percentage of the highest valued player at Man United, which is quite interesting considering you've got Paul Pogba in there. You've got Bruno Fernandes in there, but they put Rashford up there. Dortmund, obviously, it's Erling Haaland. Atletico Madrid at 120 to 150, it's Joao Felix. And then 120 to 150 million euros is Phil Foden as a percentage of our probably the person we will get the most money for if we went on to sell them. And then in the same bracket, you've got Kylian Mbappe at PSG and Bukayo Saka at Arsenal. Below that, you've got Werner. You've got Trent Alexander-Arnold. You've got Alphonso Davies and Frankie de Jong at Barcelona alongside Lautaro Martinez. So the interesting thing there is that they put this through some analytics that they use. And I must admit, I started reading the analytics side of it and how they got to it, and it went on and on and on, and in the end they sort of gave up with it. But it's interesting how they come to the fact that they believe that Marcus Rashford at United is worth somewhere between 150 and 200 million euros as a commodity for Manchester United, percentage of who is the most valuable, and Phil Foden is the most valuable for Man City. So there you go. He is the future. Is the absolute future of Manchester City. But let's see. Chris Baker Rashford's more like a 50 million player. How can Richarlison be selling? It's not quite. It's not quite. And this is the thing. That's why I said they do some analytics on it, and it's not quite what they think he would sell for. They take an average of the whole squad, and you've got to remember a lot of it comes down to how many years left are on contracts, where you could argue that Kevin De Bruyne or Riyad Mahrez even has only got 2 years left on there. Phil might have 4 or 5 years, blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot of different metrics that go into how they've worked it out. But interesting on that particular one. Anyway, on to the next little bit of news for today, which I thought was quite funny. And that's Manchester City have hired astrophysicists to zoom ahead of their rivals. And this was quite interesting. I read it originally and thinking, huh, what's that all about? And posted it this morning, as you can see. And what it turns out, wasn't a lot of information as to who they were. They were physicists or professors of physics as well. But they didn't say exactly what their job role was, though they were referring to writing some type of programming for assessing player dynamics. And like there's this new 3D model that's come out just recently on players, and I've got a feeling a lot of this will be down to recovery, injuries, that type of thing. So it sounds like they brought in these number crunchers, very clever people, astrophysicists, to come up with some sort of metric that can assess player performance, be on the pitch in training, and look at sort of the health and fitness and well-being of the players in the future. So apparently they've employed 3 of them in there. They've moved on to the books at Manchester City. So have City made a step ahead than every other team? That will be interesting to see. Kex O'Neill says, what's Mr. Whippyworth? Well, yeah, I mean, you only have to look at it, don't you? And you think, well, he's right up there. He's right up there at the moment as one of the most important players for City. How much he's worth because of his age is a different thing. Next bit is, I may as well just read it out. Somebody mentioned it before, his name, and that is about Borussia Mönchengladbach's Dennis Zakaria. Again, this is coming out talking about the fact that City are still monitoring Dennis Zakaria. And it was first reported by Christian Falk of Bild at the end of October that the current Premier League leaders had an interest in the 24-year-old. And at the time, we're preparing an offer of around €40 million ahead of the upcoming transfer window. However, that didn't materialise. It's nothing new. You only have to go back to 2018 if you want to know about Dennis Zakaria. We posted it here on mcfcfantv when Tobias did the rundown of the best German talent. So you can go over and watch that. Said it 2.5 years ago. But anyway, Dennis Zakaria is still rearing its head with regards to that. One other thing, a couple of other things on CIES, which I thought was quite interesting, was I was going through their website, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe to it. It's really interesting. It popped up, the one I'd not seen because I've had a busy few weeks, but a couple of weeks ago they posted this, and this was the percentage of backward passes this 2021 season. And it gave you the percentage of all the clubs in Europe, and look at that. Backward passes, percentage-wise, top of it, number per match, 293. 41.6% possession of passes go backwards for Manchester City. And look where we are. Does that not tell you that the changing tactics by Pep Guardiola about keep possession, maintain possession, rotate, don't lose it, don't give it away cheaply, is become paramount considering how successful we have been recently and where we are currently in 4 competitions. You go down that list there, Chelsea, 262. And then you're looking at 282 Barcelona. So even like Barcelona, even though they're less matches and a notorious team for keeping possession of the ball, City still top that list overall. Borussia Dortmund, 261. Liverpool, 264. So you can see the successful teams. PSG, 265. Real Madrid, 242. You can see the successful teams, mainly the successful teams, I should say, not always successful. But it just goes to show you, backward passes are not always a bad thing. And I do know that obviously we've had City fans who complain about the fact that Rodri is a sideways backward passer. It's obviously what Pep Guardiola wants. He wants us to pass backwards if there's no forward pass on. So I thought that was quite interesting as well. So let's go back. Who else is on, Chris? Shirley Mahrez, the best. I'm not sure he's the best, mate. His stats don't show that. Smash the like button, please. Thank you, Tim Smith. Sean Zachary, I fancy coming to City. Heartbreaking story about abuse in football. Yes, which leads me on, Alec, to my last point, which thank you for bringing it in. And that is obviously, if you haven't seen it, Football's Darkest Secrets, I would definitely say go and watch it. It is a very, very difficult read. Difficult watch. 3 parts. If you haven't seen all 3 parts on BBC iPlayer, and I posted earlier that I'm in awe at the strength and the courage by David White, Paul Stewart, Ian Ackley, Andy Woodward, lots of other players as well, out of Southampton, Peterborough, Crewe Alexandra, and Newcastle, those guys. And the programme, obviously, Daniel Taylor was the one who first raised this whole issue with regards to Andy Woodward. Brilliant journalism from Daniel Taylor, and obviously an excellent job done on the BBC programme. Football's Darkest Secrets, and so I posted there, Save Association, and that, if you don't know, that's David White's and Paul Stewart, and it's their charity work that they do, trying to help survivors of abuse, particularly in sport. If you haven't gone over and watched, if you wanted to watch and go over and look at the David White interview I did a few years ago, talking about his book and talking about his experiences with that particular person and football and Man City and everything else, his career, then I've put the link in there if you want to go over and have a watch of it. But hope dog gets better soon. Good night, Andy, and everyone. Yeah, you too, Kex. Take care, buddy. Yeah, there you go. Linny says we rebuild the tax run back. We do. Absolutely do. Bye, Andy. Up early. I am going to bed as well, mate. I'm knackered. Bye, all in the chat. Be safe. See you guys. Anyone else on here? Nope, that's about it. But anyway, listen, I want to say thanks for everyone. I hope you enjoyed the Friday Night Social. I hope if you haven't seen sort of the post-match breakdown on the Everton game with Ross and Kurt yesterday, go over and check it out. And that was Erling Haaland. That was Danny Ings. That was the CIS Observatory talking about the best transfer value players at each particular club. It was talking about astrophysics, an astrophysicist employed by Manchester City, Dennis Zakaria, and we had a quick look at last night, which was a very, very brilliant documentary on BBC. It is a 3-parter, so if you only caught one and you want to watch the other two are on BBC iPlayer, and I finished that off early, and I thought it was very, very emotional and very difficult watch. But those guys are so brave, absolutely incredible. Anyway, up the Erland, says Ryan Corrie. Alec Johnson says, great show. Alec, I need your email. I need your address by tomorrow. So you need to send it on email. If not, I'll give the prize to somebody else, buddy. So I need to get them sent off. So email me, mcfcfantv@gmail.com, and I'll send them over to you, mate. Chris says, cheers, Andy. Get well soon, Stanley. Thank you, mate. I'm sure he'll be fine. Cheers, Andy. Love to the dog. Thank you very much. Ozzy, thanks for coming on tonight. Great show. Hope your dog gets better. Thank you, Ozzy. But anyway, it's Sandy from Man City Fan TV. Don't forget, subscribe, hit that bell icon. That way you'll be notified when new videos are out. I just wanted to do a quick roundup today, considering this is what it's going to be like until we resume back to normality and the Premier League is back. We've missed football, and all of a sudden it's gone for a week or two, and all it's going to be filled with is just nonsense after nonsense after nonsense. But we'll still bring it to you, nonsense or not. But anyway, take care. Stay safe, everybody. Hope you're well. And yeah, we'll be back maybe tomorrow with something else. But take care, and we will definitely see you soon.